Good day, love life. And we're back again with yet another episode of the Purple Couch, which is the 11th episode. So, guys, as Nazbuti, celebrates a Youth Month, and we're shooting live la Ekomora Alexandra Siga Culinary. So, guys, we Youth Month, we'd like to focus on what happened in 1976, in 16th June. There was supposed to be a match, a very peaceful. So intsha yethu yenza imatch ukuthi balole ama rights wabo for them not to be oppressed, but it happened ukuthi amaphoyisa asitshela ukuthi manje these people are in for a fight. Then they started with the rubber bullets, tear gases, and that's where we had ama cases waka Hector Peterson of him having ukuthi agcine sekashona ezandleni zakambuyisa. So manje we have immemorial yakhe, which is Hector Peterson Museum. Also, guys, I'd like to show appreciation to our funders, which is the National Department of Health and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. On this segment, which is Spot the Trend, we had, we focused on things that have been happening on social media for that month, June. So manje, guys, we know Uguti, we had a case here, #Tembisa10, whereby it was allegedly said Uguti Umama is expecting 10 kids, which is something quite bizarre for Umhlaba Wonke. It has never happened in the whole wide world. So can you imagine, guys? I mean, I'm not about 10. Yabo. So in National Department of Health, ishilo yona yathi ayazi nje leyo into leyo azange babe nama case anjalo in any of their hospitals. I mean, guys, I was ready to contribute 10 rand yam to wonke abantwana laba 1 rand. But anyways, guys, wasazi ukuthi iqiniso noma yabo. Also on Spot the Trend, we had a #Pride Month where we get to celebrate the LGBTQI community. And also, guys, don't forget, later on we'll be having an exclusive interview with one of the members of the LGBTQIA, Thabile Masuku, who is also known as TTO, radio presenter, a Massive Metro. A breakfast show here, it's called Legendary Breakfast. It's from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So please, guys, tune in.
My name is Muketle from Matiba Start.
So I came up with who is an AYFSP educator.
We have to introduce youth in volunteering more, because they will get more experience in their CVs, and volunteering helps a lot. As I'm volunteering, I can see that I've changed a lot. Like never before. I can go outside and socialize with people. Like now, we are in this event. As we are peer educators, and we also go to some schools to do peer education talk.
When coming to them being compatible, let's start with academics. Ne? I think it's really best that we equip learners, or rather we equip the youth with academic. You can't go there and say you want to be employed by the government, yet you are not literate enough. You have to know the basics of language, English. Yes, English is not our mother tongue, but it's something you have to know so that you can be compatible. So on the basis of that, we also then, if ever there are individuals who are not academically gifted, there are factors that you can do. For example, a learner can dance, someone can openly speak in public. That's public speaking. We train you in that. We equip you in that. We teach you the basics. We kind of like rough. They come as rough diamonds, so we kind of like shape them, nurture them. Then it's up to them to go to the world. So I think, yeah.
Right now, guys, it's an exclusive interview with our radio presenter, Thabile TTO. Hi, Thabile Unjani.
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good. So, Thabile, can you tell us a bit more about yourself? Introduce yourself, basically.
Okay, so I'm a radio presenter, I'm a television presenter, I'm an MC and a model. So that's just the little things that I do right now.
Okay, so what I'd like to know, Uguti, what got you interested in radio presenting? Yeah, how did it start about?
So when I grew up listening to YFM, and I grew up consuming a lot of TV, things like Live, Real Kopoza, JM Ellie, the music videos in the middle of the night. I always say that when everyone was watching porn in the evening, I was watching TV, like I was watching music videos, and before the next video will play, I would do like a link in a way to introduce the next video. So then I used to watch a lot of YoTV, and then I went to my first audition, and then when I got to that audition, I was almost like a wooden mic because I really didn't know what I was doing. But when I left that audition with so much like conviction that I could actually really do this. And then ever since that day, I just grew on that and grew on that. And then finally after matric, I went to study at Boston Media House, and that's how I basically got started with the campus radio at BMH Radio.
So you guys in all of that, just like, I mean, presenting is difficult. So bonga tuganga and doing it and stuff.
I mean, it's always different all the time. But I think the more that you do it, the more that you get better at it. I don't think anyone is perfect. Everyone does have a bad day, But otherwise, with me, I would say that a lot of the things that I do, I don't want to do things that are too off of my character or who I am, because then it starts feeling fake. That's why I'm not an actor, because acting just cringes me out. It makes me feel awkward, So with presenting, I like to talk a lot, so I think it's just an extension of who I am and an extension of my character. And then even with the radio presenting, it's also an extension of my character, my mind, how I think, what I think about the world, how I see the world. And then even with the modeling, I like clothes, I like fashion, so I think that's how I do everything else. And then with emceeing, I like to go out, I like to have a good time.
Oh, you hype men when I say
No. I was going to say, I think it's so important to know yourself. And recently I had a conversation with myself and I said, I'm not going to be that kind of MC anymore. I think that's not my scene. That's not my vibe. I think I want to do more corporate, thoughtful, conversational, MC, expo, let's talk and uplift people. That's my vibe now. So that's the lane that I'm on now.
Oh, okay, that's very good. All right, so Thabile, I hear ukuthi wena lapha ku-Massive Metro, you're the breakfast person. Yes. Show yako, it's called Legendary Breakfast, right? 6 to 9. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'd like to know ukuthi, how did you feel when they gave you the slot, say breakfast instead of the weekend, maybe? Oh, yeah.
So I first last year in July, I first did so it's a crazy story. I was working at the SABC in 2019. That went the way that it went, And then I didn't have a job for about 3 months going into 2020. And then the co-host who I now host the show with now, she was working at Massive, and then she told me that they were looking for a social media person. And I did social media from February, March, April, May. And then in June, they said, okay, TTO, we know that you're also a presenter. Can you please give us your demo, right? I handed in my demo. Ona also handed in her demo. And then they liked the vibes of both the demos. And then they gave us the weekend breakfast show, which was Saturday and Sunday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So we did that in July, August, September, October, November, December. January, February, March. April is like radio season. That's when things start to change and shift. And then that's when the conversation came up, when they were like, you guys did such a good job with morning after. How do you guys feel about moving to weekday breakfast? And I'm only 23, and I've only been doing this now. This is now like my 4th year on radio, 5th year on radio, and I'm having a good time. So like I'm saying, I don't do things that are off of my skill sets. Everything that I'm going to do is going to be a banger, because it's an extension of who I am. So my talent speaks for itself. So I think that's how it is.
All right, so the question I have for you again is, as a young person, what advice would you give young people on how to protect themselves from STIs and HIV and also unwanted pregnancies?
Guys, let me tell you something. I think it's so important for people to understand the things that they're getting themselves into first and foremost. I was telling my little sister the other day that once you start having sex, guys, it only goes up from there. It's not going down, it only goes up. You're gonna want more sex. So the more sex that you want, understand that it's not just about having sex anymore. Now it's about STIs and pregnancy and all these other things. So the first thing I always tell people is protect yourself. Always use a condom. Especially if you're a kid, you're living at your mom's house, your mom doesn't have a job, but you want to go and have sex and bring a child into that house, think before you do things, you know?
Yes, really, guys. Always protect yourself when going out. Don't just have sex for having sex. Always use a condom. Protect yourself all the time. Okay, so manje niyabo siku Pride Month, June. Khona mina abantwana abancane abasakhula abasazithola. They want to come out to their parents about their sexuality, because obviously mama makabona umntana omfana behave in a certain way, babona ukuthi hayi wena uyasanyela why wenza kanje, yabo. So how would you advise the young ones who wants to come out to their parents on their sexuality, on how to go about it?
Great question. I think for me to get to where I am right now, it took a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. And now I think I value myself more because I went through the things that I went through. So I think for anyone who's at home who is even a part of the LGBTIQ plus community, let me tell you something. You're still going to go through the most, especially if you're young. You are still going to go through the most. And I can imagine waking up in the morning and seeing that people who are like you are being killed. It can even be more daunting. You know what I mean? So I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to go through the most, but it's going to make you strong. Believe me, you're going to win. And if you've noticed, people who are just like me and you are winning. So just get ready. But don't even think about killing yourself. Don't even think about limiting your life. Live more. The more that you live, the more that you piss them off. And there's nothing that they can do about it.
I can like with that, guys. Yeah. So don't go around wanting to kill yourself just because umuntu hakuthandi for what you are. And then I mean, guys, maui lesbian, maui gay. If umuntu feel ukuthi that does not make them happy.
And I'm straight, like
okay,
you know.
Yeah. So we don't choose for ourselves; it just happens. So now, I'd also like to know what other projects, or rather, what projects do you have coming up? Maybe on the presenting side, or maybe outside of presenting, what projects do you have?
So I've got my brand new album. It's coming out next week, Friday. I'm just joking.
Okay.
But I'm actually rebranding. Well, I don't want to say rebranding, but then I'm extending my brand. I want to be a full-time YouTuber right now. Like, I really want to tap into that market. I feel like I live a really interesting life, and I want to give people a window into my life, what I do, how I do it, maybe how I get ready in the morning. I get some really cool questions on my DM, so I think I want to open my life up like that. It's still a thought in my mind, but then I think 70% I'm gonna do it, just fully brand myself that way. And yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. Anything else, guys, book me.
All right, New Zealand, Ula location.
Yeah.
Okay, so now on the socials again, where can they find you if I follow just like you say?
Yeah, so I'm Thabile _TTO across all social media platforms, and then my YouTube channel is Thabile TTO. Otherwise, Google me, Thabile TTO. You'll definitely find me.
Alright, guys, and just as Ninga Kofi with Tina as Love Life, we definitely support the LGBTQI family. If you want to know about the LGBT, just ask questions. Yeah. Fundi Sega. Be learned.
Open your mind, guys.
Yes.
And take over.
Thank you, guys. So go IPZ too. We're having an interview with a young entrepreneur by the name of Kopano. Hi Kopano, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good. So Kopano, can you tell us a bit about yourself? And yeah, the business.
Alright, my name is Kopano. I was actually born and bred in Soweto. And I grew up in Winchester, in the south of Johannesburg. And went to Sir John Adamson High School, lived my whole life in the southern suburbs of Johannesburg, and then got into university, learned about industrial design while I was doing a course in architectural design, and while I was doing a course in CAD, which is called computer-aided design. And then through that journey, I learned about industrial design, studied a degree in industrial design, and then started my own company where I'm an industrial designer, which is also known as 3D product design.
All right. So now I'd like to know, Uguti, how did you actually get into industrial design? Like, what interested you in doing it?
I always had this question about how things worked, and I was always had this passion about how things worked, and I always wondered why the world is the way it is, and I always wanted to go into something that kind of spoke to that voice that was speaking to me, which was architecture initially, because that's the study of buildings and the study of space and interaction. But I wanted to go a bit more in depth, and I wanted to know from a minute detail as like how simple, the understanding of how a pen works. I wanted to know why a pen works, how zip works, why glasses work, and I did my research while I was doing my course in architecture. And then after that, while doing my research, I jumped into and found out about 3D product design. I found out about 3D printing, and I realized that okay, cool. So I can actually make stuff that I'm thinking about, and that for me was like the go-to for industrial design. The idea that I can think about something and I can actually tangibly make it and bring it to life. It's just the reason why I actually got into what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, siyafunda ne-industrial design. I thought it was something that had to do with buildings, all that. But anyways, that's quite good because siyafunda something. So now I'd like for you to tell us more about your company.
Ohaekwuzie Designs.
Yes, Ohaekwuzie Designs.
So my business is I run a 3D design solutions company where I use 3D design technologies like computer-aided design, virtual reality design. I use these type of digital designs and also manufacturing technologies to bring dreams and ideas to life. So you're a client or you a entrepreneur or whatever you are whatever you consider yourself, a normal person, you have a dream one night and you have a dream about driving a car that has no wheels, for example, or one wheel, and then you're like, I need this to come to life, it's going to make me a lot of money. Then you call Ohaekwuzie Designs, and then yeah, we do it for you. Yeah.
Okay. So I'd also like to know what are the challenges that you get to face as a young person.
Yeah.
On your business yake I1 in your industry more especially.
Yeah, I mean, like industrial design, everybody I speak to, 80% of the people I speak to don't have a clue what industrial design is. So I mean, for me, like the challenge is that the lack of knowledge. Everybody's kind of really. People want to know stuff, but people don't have the access to it. And even if the access is available through internet and social media, people don't know how to really get to those channels. Because I know there's someone someone out there like me who has the same vision or the same vision as all of us here, but we don't have the access to get together and network. There's another industrial designer like Kopano elsewhere. I don't know where this guy is, where this girl is, but I know that they talk in my language. So also to add to that answer is that collaboration is what's actually killing the youth, because everybody has this complex where everybody wants to be the the Goku or the Naruto or the Chuck Norris or the man in front. Everybody wants to be the gatekeeper, and that's the way of the old world. That's old ways. Now we're living in a place where the more we collaborate, the more people we have in a project, the better it is for everybody. And a lot of people are realizing that.
So I'd like to know, Ohaekwuzie, what achievements would you say you are proud of?
My personal achievements was not giving up. I failed a lot. Outside of the houses that were built that I was a part of, or the projects that I'm a part of now, I mean that's cool. But like for the fact that I really told myself, I'm gonna do this. So I still have a long way to go, but for the fact that I started, that for me is like, yeah, that means I'm doing it and I'm seeing and for the idea that I can create something which is this business, and then there's products that come out of it, which is people satisfied, which is people having a house built, which is people having products designed, logos made, websites designed through me, which is that's more rewarding. So yeah.
Okay, so as we were chatting outside there, I saw this thing that you created. It's more like a light bulb type of thing. Can you tell us about that?
Oh yes, it's a mood light. So basically, this mood light is it's what we call a space painting device. So basically, this moonlight is it's like if you think about it, it's like a lampshade, right? And this lampshade has has leaves that I designed this lampshade to have like shapes of leaves on them, like printed or cut on them. And then when you have a light or have a light bulb that shines from the inside of this lampshade design that I've made, it creates an illusion of nature in the space. Then I also in your own room, and then I've added a motor to it as well. Then in additionally, we can add speakers, and we can add like a computer that can connect it to Wi-Fi. You can have music playing and can kind of like merge with the space. So as this thing is rotating, you have all these flowers all around, and this light is like also just shining on the shadows that I've created through this product.
All right, so now in closing, where can people find you in the socials, your Facebook, Twitter, whatever?
www.okodesigns.co.za. Oko Design spelled AUKO, the word designs.co.za. Oko Designs available on all major social media platforms, TikTok included. Yeah, that's how you can find me. It's spelled the same way everywhere. Yeah, and you'll see the A for Oko, the blue A. Just look for the blue A.
Izile guys, I'm hoping good you guys learned a lot in industrial design from our guy Kopano here. He's a very young man who's doing quite a lot. So we're hoping good each and up until I'm very much successful. So I'm hoping you guys enjoyed that.
Peace.
So guys, right now we are here with Mr. Siga, our culinary chef. He's going to be telling us more about himself, where he studied maybe, and ukuthi nje ukhule kanjani. Hi Siga, unjani?
Yaphila njani?
I'm very good. So sicela usitshele kabanzi ukuthi Siga ubani, ufunde phi, uhlala phi. Yeah.
Okay, igama lami uSega, but my real name is Gift. Born and raised in Alexandria, number 384 East Bank Avenue. Umfana sekasi, ngikhulele kasi. I went to iskolo ngene AEWC. That's where I got my culinary art education. So after that, I got an opportunity to work abroad.
Oh,
nice. So I'll get more into it later.
Okay. All right. So manje, also I'd like to know ukuthi like the whole journey yakho from just being umfana sekasi ufunde esikoleni nje, like what inspired you to start with, like, or rather follow through with the career of being a chef?
Well, I would say ukuthi I started cooking since high school. So high school, I was passionate about it, and then after my AUJ to go further my culinary arts, unfortunately it didn't go well with UJ. So my second option was IT. Then I went to MGI, and I tried it out, but then it was too bad. It was bad. Since I'm a C++, computer sciences. So like, you know what? Let me just go back to
talent
lami, which is the hospitality, the culinary one. And then that's when I went to EWC, Ekene College in Germiston. For 2 years, I got my diploma. And then after getting my diploma, I volunteered at La Eranbeke, which is called Hospitality Solutions Company, where they place you at different hotels. So after working there, I worked really hard until I got an opportunity to go to Texas and to learn more about the Mexican cuisine.
Hey, excellent. All right, Nizile guys, I hope Nizile umuntu lo uyandiza uyashiyela. But anyways, ngiyabuza bathi you have an in-house chili sauce. And what inspired you to create it?
So basically, as I was saying that I got an opportunity to go work abroad, I learned more of the Mexican cuisine. I fell in love with the hot spices, the flavors that they use there. So hence why I came back and started my own restaurant, which is called Sega Culinary Restaurant. And we've been in operation for 2 years now. So I decided to have our own in-house chili sauce, which is called Chili con Pele Pele. Well, it's a combination of Mexican and African. That's why we call it the Mexicasi. So chili con is Mexican and Pele Pele is African, which is Pele Pele. So a combination of corner. And it's got different flavors and it's really nice.
I hope so, and I taste it. And okay, so yeah, since this has COVID and my businesses, I mean, they were struggling. So how did COVID affect your business?
Well, COVID affected us kakulu because of now we had to cut down from staff say too. We had to, so most of the time I had to be hands-on, but now I wouldn't say COVID was really much of a strain. At the same time, it taught you on how to balance though. You understand? So, as an entrepreneur, you need to always think ahead. So by that, we had to introduce e-delivery services.
All right, so again, manje, I'd like to know, like, in terms of Tina Inja, so yasazi asijwayelanga ukudla health, sibhizi namakoti. So how would you encourage inja rather ukuthi idle healthy?
Well, Tina Lana, a restaurant we have a healthy corner. So our healthy corner consists of a stir fry, so I'm a veggie, and seeing that we are now in winter time, it's a nice healthy dish and it's also warm. Yes, and I would say it's a great dish for healthy eating.
Okay, njoba usho ke winter. What are the dishes you can tell people ukuthi bazenze emakhaya as part of ukuthi babe warm? Yabona bangadli maybe inkomazi kanje. Inkomazi iyabanda. So you can't be eating inkomazi in winter. So what are the dishes that you can like maybe tell people to do njoba winter so?
Oh, my favorite dish, well, it's not really healthy, but then imnandi, ilam shake.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm. But then also soup. Soup is really good and it's healthy. They can try that out. They can also try our Mexican stir fry.
All right, New Zealand guys, I hope in New Zealand Mexican stir fry. Alex. So Siga guys, as Shilo Uguti, there's a dish that he's recommending for inja Uguti bayidle winter kanjena. So which is the winter dish stir fry sake. So I got to be surprised. Guys. Ngizos taste now. So Siga, thank you my guys.
Surprise!
I was telling about getting dish yako.
So what we have here is a Mexican stir fry.
Okay.
So basically, essentially available tini. It's a warm-hearted dish. It's a warm-hearted dish, and it's also a healthy dish. We have seasonal vegetables here. What we do is we saute them with a little bit of olive oil until they're like 1 or 2 minutes, and then you add your noodles, add your sauces, and then you add a little bit of the chili con pele pele. I mean, like, yeah, the chili con pele pele is a good thing, so I hope you enjoy it. As I had mentioned, it's a Mexican joint. I do different flavors. I use Mexican flavors and African flavors combined together. So basically what I do is I take a lot of spices, combine them into one, and then I mix them in together. And of course, as Oshana Gutini, Babagamnande, just the chili con pele pele.
Guys, so yeah, Mr. Siga, njengoba sesidlile ukudla kwethu, I mean, ngiyakuzwa ngiyavaya. Where can people find you on the socials?
Okay, they can find Sega Culinary on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Instagram is at Sega Culinary. Facebook is Sega Culinary Restaurant. Twitter is Sega Culinary Restaurant. Hi, Siga. Siga. Siga.
Okay, thank you very much, Siga. I mean, I enjoyed the food. I love the flavors and all that. It was very nice. So I'm hoping you guys are gonna also come here and check the food out and taste the winter dish here too. So yeah.
Peace out.
It's Didi Matebula here. I just want to share a little bit of how Love Life assisted me, guys. I started as a nobody, but after the program being a groundbreaker, 2011 Lily Day site, I've managed to get a couple of things. I can say now I'm the founder and organizer for Master Bush Park Ridge. I'm also a radio personality. I work at funeral services as a sales and marketing personnel. I also have Miss Plus Size Bush Park Ridge, Miss Bush Park Ridge High Schools. So what I can say, Love Life has been a foundation in my life, shaped me. I'm a program director or an MC for a couple of events, whatever event that you can think of. Whether it's an indoor event, corporate event, I am your MC. So all that Love Life assisted me to have that confidence to do something, to start somewhere.
My name is Nomsankosi and I used to be a sports groundbreaker at Love Life. Love Life has taught me how to be able to interact with people, to grow as an individual, to actually face challenges that we face as a youth. Because I've learned how our challenges affect how we become in the future and how finding solutions with people your age, your peers, actually enhances you as a person. So that when you leave and go out to the workplace and stuff, you know that you've grown as an individual and you know how to be with people. And helping people helps a person grow. And for that, I thank Love Life. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andile Shawe. I was a sports groundbreaker from 2017 till 2019. I worked with Umamzola, and I think since I joined Love Life, I've connected with a lot of people, and my network has grown since I joined. Going to various places, meeting other sports groundbreakers, and following my passion in women's football. I think I've grown since I've joined Love Life, and yeah, they should continue the good work. Being a sports GP actually changed my outlook on certain sporting codes, like women's football. I actually fell in love with it more, and now I help underprivileged girls get teams. And recently I took a couple of girls to Swaziland where they'll be getting paid and playing sports and do what they love basically.
For a fashion insider yethu, we headed up to Emabonengi to have an interview with Ekene Daniel, owner ye Multiple Hair. As I've said, Good Fashion Insider yethu will be at Maboneng interviewing Mr. Ekene Daniels with Multiple Hair. Hi Ekene, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm very good, thank you. So I'd like for you to tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, maybe a school that you went to, you know? Yeah.
Yo, my name is Daniel Ohaekwuzie, popularly known as Multiple Hair. Yeah. So we started, it wasn't easy though when we started, like being in the streets, staying in the streets, trying to like convince clients, you know? All these roadside clients pass by, so trying to convince them just that you know what to do, you know what you are doing as a stylist, and those other people who are skills, they know how it goes down, you know. Trying to convince them, telling them that you can make hair, bringing them to your salon, you know, like meeting somebody you've not seen before, telling that person I can do you this your hair, I can do this style, I can just trust me. Show her some pictures. Sometimes she will even think you want to take her phone, trying to convincing them. So by grace of God, when you manage to convince them after like demonstrating what you know how to do, they will like you and they will keep repeating you. So that is it. It wasn't easy though. That is how I started.
Okay. So can you now tell us about the high people that you've worked with, since you're also saying that you didn't start on an easy path, you know, it was quite difficult to attract people. So now you're working with high people. So who are those and how is it?
Okay, I've worked with a lot of celebrities, which I can't even count anymore. I think I've worked with Kaimba, my boss. I've worked with Gugun Kanti. I've worked with Brinette, Johannesburg housewife. I've worked with Boy T. I can't even remember their names. Like Kanya, Nandi, Mbata. I've worked with lots of them. Like, yeah, I've worked with a lot.
Alright, guys, girl, we're reloaded if you watch the show. So now I'd like to know also, Guti, how do you overcome the pressure of working in the industry, since I'm seeing that there are a lot of hairstylists, and I mean they could have picked anyone else, but they chose you.
Oh, stylist is just the word stylist is being creative and showing different things from what people normally see daily basis. As a pathfinder, you must surely be this kind of a creative unit human, whereby once you demonstrate your technique on any client, that person will surely see that this thing is different from what we get every day. And me, I'm this kind of a passionate person. I have passion in what I do. And once you have passion in what you do, you must surely be this kind of a human where you create a lot of things, you know. You create a lot of things that keep stylists standing, asking, how is this person getting this thing out, you know? So it's my passion, so I always want to deliberate everything I do on it.
Now, so, guys, follow your passion. Don't just do things because, well, you know, follow what you love and you'll definitely succeed in it.
Yeah.
So now my question now, Enge, is that during the pandemic, what measures were you taking just to be safe?
Oh, that is great. Nobody expected the pandemic, you know, so it just came like something sudden. But it's cool. As a business person and as a passion, as somebody who is passionate with what you do, you must surely have this kind of a direction whereby in any situation, you must surely create something. Create something out of it. That is being creative as well. Okay, in the pandemic, everybody's at home. So what I was doing basically was doing career. I was just making weave. Once I advertise, people want it. They give me the address. I call RMS or other agencies to come and like take the goods. You know, that is how I was like surviving.
Yeah,
and it was great experience though. Yeah.
Carrying things. Carrying your weave.
Yeah.
All right. So now, as we are on winter, what hair care tips would you give for the different types of hair of people? Okay. How do they take care of their hair in winter?
Okay, okay, as winter, you know, it's cold, so people always want these bulky styles whereby their ears will just stay out of cold, and their hair, their scar. You get something like Jericho shoulder lengths, bulky styles. It keeps you warm, very warm. Even you sleeping, you walking, you know, whatever thing you do, that one is very, very cool.
Also the curly
and the curly one, but tiny curls, so that cold cannot penetrate easily. Yeah, and that is it. That is just a tip.
Mr. Ekene, where can people find you on the socials?
You can get me on Instagram, multiple hair, Twitter. You can even Google me, multiple hair. Just you get me everywhere.
All right. Everywhere. So guys, you heard Twitter, Facebook, Google, Instagram. That's where you find them. So guys, don't forget, there's hair there. Me, I'm gonna be trying myself a weave. So if you see me in the streets, they're rocking the weave. Just don't forget.
Multiple hair.
Multiple hair. So guys, now we've come to the end of our show, 11th episode. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram also. I'd like to thank our guest, Bongla Abapule, through for today. Thank you very much for coming. And also I'd like to thank our funders, which is the National Department of Health and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Since cool guys, for always supporting us and being behind us in everything that we do. From me, Untla Dube, to you, we out.